Get a grip, buddy. It's not my fault you missed your court date and defaulted into paternity. No, it does not matter that you have never seen the woman or know who she is. When you missed your court date, you became the woman's father of choice. Yes, one of the children is handicapped, which means you will pay child support until you die, as far as the law is concerned. I know it's 4 years later, but it takes a while for us to get all the paperwork done. Track you down, garnish your wages, which is how you finally found out, right? Okay, let's see. The amount looks correct, considering we're talking 3 children, with penalties and interest, $76,000 and change. Hey, keep your voice down. No, defending our country against terrorism in Iraq and Afghanistan doesn't count. You missed a court date, buddy. You're now dear old dad, whether it's your kid or not. Well, you should have. You should have had your mail forwarded if you were out of the country. We sent a notice to your last known address. Yes, a judge might modify the amount you pay in the future, but it's rare, and you're on the hook for $76,000. No, federal law prohibits forgiveness, so you have to pay the full amount plus penalty and interest. Now again, child support arrears are not dischargeable in bankruptcy, even if the kids are not yours. No, you don't. She gets the tax exemption for the kids, even if the child support you pay is her only income. I'm not sure about private detectives, but I've heard at least 3,000 or 4,000 retain a good attorney, which might be worth considering, since your only hope is to prove that you were defrauded or we made a technical mistake, which is common. I know one guy who spent more than $100,000 on his attorneys. No, you cannot ask her about whom the biological father is because she lied. The restraining order says so. She's not required to tell you, and neither are we, even if we know who the guy is. Scam? Please. No, not her kids either. If you make any effort to contact any of them, you will be arrested and charged with a domestic violence restraining order violation. And if you get angry and raise your voice within hearing distance of her kids, your name might be included forever on the state's child abuse index also. So you can forget about applying for good jobs when you retire from the military, since employers regularly check the index and they won't hire child abusers. No, she doesn't have to prove anything. All she has to do is say she's afraid of what might happen if. And that's it. You can be arrested for domestic violence or child abuse. That's why the restraining order was issued in the first place. She said she was afraid of you. Heck, she can even sue you for pain, suffering, and damages if you violate the restraining order, maybe even if you don't. Since she was granted a restraining order, she is now officially a victim and can apply for all sorts of financial assistance from victim compensation programs. How did you find out she lived in Sweden? You aren't supposed to know even that. Oh, it was penciled in the margin of the notice you just got from our Child Support Enforcement Division. She said she was applying for an increase in child support since you were promoted. No, I don't know how she found out. I guess she does have you by the balls. Well, she has the advantage, for sure, since we don't prosecute for making false accusations of paternity, child abuse, sexual assault, or domestic violence. Just welfare fraud, sometimes, maybe. But what would happen to the kids if the mother is fined or locked up? So, sure, restraining order violations are serious. You can lose everything you, your wife, and natural children have should this woman you have never seen lie again. All she has to say is that you were at the same grocery store, movie, or something like that, even if she doesn't know what you look like. Basically, she can say whatever she wants, and you and your natural family are burnt toast. Plus, you go to jail. Well, yes, I guess you can, since she has a restraining order, she's technically a domestic violence victim and can be granted American legal status. It doesn't matter that you don't know who she is. You are the court-ordered established father. According to domestic violence laws, that makes you a family member. Oh? I didn't know that. You'll be dishonorably discharged too? Bummer. Yes, you have to pay the child support even though the law says that you have no parental rights and are prevented from ever having any relationship with the child or children. Who said anything about being fair? I see you have been doing your homework. It is true that even if you start paying the child support, have receipts and a full accounting from your employer showing that payments were withheld from your checks, that still you might have to pay again. You see, some companies don't pay what they withhold, but that's your problem, not ours. Well, even if the payments went directly to the woman and she says the money was never received, or she simply chooses not to respond to our inquiries, then we presume the money has never been paid. Whether you or your employer made the payments, between you and me, our computer system is so messed up, we don't track these things real well, even though we're literally spent a couple $1 billion trying to fix it. So we cannot correctly process most information, even if we have it, at least, in a timely way. Sure, happens all the time. Heck, there was a non-custodial mother in here just yesterday with all kinds of proof that she'd paid over $67,000 that was not credited to her child support account. It was garnished by her employer, but supposedly never received by the father. Looks like the employer never paid it. We have her credit so messed up she can't get her house refinanced, which she needs to do to pay off the child support arrears. We snagged her tax refunds too and took away her license to drive and practice medicine. She was a pediatrician. So we screw up the lives of a lot of people besides the paternity fraud victims, including non-custodial female parents. Though not many, since courts seldom award primary child custody to fathers, even if the women are child abusers, drug addicts, or convicted of violent crimes. Yes, the children you have never seen and that are not yours can sue your estate as heirs in case of your death, and might share your estate with your children, children of choice, or biological children. Since you're still in the military, I assume we've already done the paperwork to get her and the kids base privileges, life insurance, medical, dental, and so on. That's good. Most, all of your housing allowance goes to her too. Please, calm down. I don't want to have to call security. Well, how you pay the rent or support your real wife and natural children is your business, but your first legal obligation is to this other woman and children you have never seen. What you heard is correct. If you don't stay current with the support payments, we will take your house, whatever value personal property you own, income tax refunds, and drain your bank accounts, even those of your natural children and wife if you are a cosigner. There was one case where we even grabbed the kid's piggy bank. You believe that? Yep. It's also true. We will have your passport revoked if you have one, and take away your driver's license and professional licenses you have, and in some cases attach the retirement accounts, since the mother of your court-assigned children may have a legal claim to those funds too. Well, how you get to work or make a living isn't our problem either. There's always the bus. Oh, that, well, the support order says you are required to pay extra for the private school tuition, another $300 per month per child for incidentals, transportation for visits to their grandparents each summer, and tennis lessons for the 6-year-old. That's all extra. Whoops, oh my, looks like you're paying for all the kids' college tuitions also. That should only cost you $1 million or so. After she and the children moved to the U.S. from Sweden as legal resident aliens. Really, you already have college funds established for your natural children? You wouldn't happen to have the account number with you, would you? It would save us time tracking them down. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be insensitive. I don't know why the parents of intact families are not required to pay such things. I guess because they are still free to make their own choices, or maybe they cannot afford such luxuries. Though if we keep legislating financial incentives to divorce, you might want to buy stock in tennis equipment manufacturers. Don't be foolish. You don't think the mothers should pay, do you? Holding her accountable for lying about you being the dad or having all those kids? No way that will ever fly. That's why the law prevents you from seeking restitution or damages. Otherwise, it might be a burden on our children, right? It doesn't matter that the kids don't get the money because the mother is a drug addict or abusive. How she spends the money is her business. Figure it out. If such women were honest, would she lie, take your money, and destroy your life? The state reimburses you? No. Not even if the state confused you with somebody else and failed to correctly serve you notice, it cannot be held accountable. It's easier to make the innocent pay, which creates jobs like mine. Thank you very much. Please stay calm, or I really will call security. And you really don't want to be ordered into one of those anger management programs designed by women for men only. Sure, you have to pay for that too. You have to pay for all of it. Court costs, attorney's fees, filing fees, the psych evaluation, and no, there is no forgiveness when you go to jail. Child support continues to accrue with penalties and interest. Yes, if you don't pay the support you owe while in jail. Upon release, if you cannot pay the debt, you might be sent back to jail. Same thing. How you pay the child support to provide for your wife and natural children while in jail is not our business. Gee, that's rough. I hope you can work it out with your wife. A divorce would be tough right now, considering the extra child support and everything else you'll have to pay. Would you please stop fiddling with whatever that is in your pants? It's disconcerting. Well, because a small group of legislators redefine family and believe women have the right to name any man they choose as father while ensuring that he has no contact with the children. So, you're it. Basically, you're a wallet. And you better have some folding money inside or we'll strip you and your family to the bone before sending you off to prison and putting your wife and kids on the street. You're right, there are a lot of people who think it's crazy. But that's the reason, nevertheless. Heck, earlier this morning we hauled a preacher out, screaming something about being disenfranchised, radical feminist conspiracy, slavery all over again, and mostly killing minorities. Why don't I do something? Not my job. I just work here. Who knows? Basically, if Big Mama isn't happy, nobody's happy. And it's politically correct to bash men, fatherhood, and families of choice. Fortunately, women who have watched the destruction of their loved ones are starting to fight back, which is good, since men won't do it. So there is some hope over the horizon. Obviously, best interests of the children doesn't include you or your wife's children of choice. And nothing in the situation suggests the laws are concerned with the rest of your family, your natural children's cousins, aunts, and grandmothers, and whatever. Or you wouldn't be in this mess. No, it doesn't matter that someone who jumps bail for rape or escapes from prison after being convicted for murder doesn't get 16 years tacked onto his or her sentence. You missed that one court date, so the woman's youngest child is 4, and you will pay child support for that child for another 16 years. Oh, except for the one that's disabled. Remember, you pay child support for her for the rest of the child's natural life. Get used to it. You are conditioned to be abused. No, I don't think taking your story to the media will help much, though. Recently, more and more paternity fraud cases are being covered in the media, but the media doesn't really see it as a major issue, even though in Los Angeles, California last year, the Department of Child Support Services defaulted over 4,200 men into paternity. They set a new record and have the highest default rate in the country. I've heard estimates of over 7 million men nationwide. Heck, the National Association of Blood Banks found that no less than 30% of all men tested for paternity are not the biological fathers of their presumed children. There's a lot of cheating going on out there. Here's some Kleenex. Nah, that's okay. Use as much as you need. We stock plenty around here. Yes, that's probably true. If 4,200 women broke their little toe with a faulty polish applicator, there would be a national crisis, and every media outlet in the country would be digging up mud about the manufacturer while calling for a full governmental investigation and polish applicator legislation reforms. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't use that kind of language. Like I said, I really don't know, but yes, it does seem like legal extortion, and I understand why you feel that women who lie about paternity just to get money shouldn't be allowed to breed. But there's all that women's choice stuff too, None of that will change as long as the states refuses to hold women accountable for their own actions, making false accusations and maternity fraud. But changing those things isn't my job description either. The good news is sometimes more than one guy gets to support the same women that you have never seen. Yeah, that's crazy, but it's true. Well, if the court rules you should have known about all this before you petition to be released from paternity, your petition will be denied. But if you find the real father and get a decent judge, the real father might be allowed to pay half. Saves you big bucks over time, at least until the bio dad disappears or dies, then it's all on you again. Do you always shake like that bad? Your meds? Okay, here's some water. No, even if the bio dad wants to pay all the child support, courts will prohibit him from letting him do so. Well, what can I say? That's the way it is. We even have cases where the real father is still living with the women and kids. Heck, some paternity fraud victims even pay child support to the biological fathers after the state took the children away, for whatever reason, from the mother and gave custody to bio dad. Crazy, huh? Oh, my partner looks like that just before she starts hyperventilating. Would you like a chair or maybe some more water? What's due process? Hey, buddy, like I said, I just work here, stupid or not. Oh, you mean the system? Really? Suicide is the 5th leading cause of death for men in America? And 7 times higher than for women? Over 30,000 men in America a year kill themselves? No way. Well, that's a bit strong, isn't it? Men are disposable. That's it. Yeah, that's right. Breathe. Just breathe. Yeah. 10 count, sort of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Try counting. Yeah, that's right. Very good. I'm not supposed to do this, but my partner's a psychologist. You seem like a good guy. Maybe I can get you a discount. No, huh? Oh my God. Is that a Beretta? back off, fella. It was your responsibility. You should have had your mail forwarded like I told you. I didn't do anything. Yeah, okay, that's better. Yeah, that's better. I appreciate you taking those deep breaths and putting the gun down. It's a 9 mil, right? You don't work for the post office also, do you? Good, good, very good. I'll just put that in the drawer here. There. Hey, aren't you that Medal of Honor guy who jumped on a grenade before being captured and tortured for 5 months? You are? Wow, that is cool. What a privilege to meet you. I wish there was more I could do. We really need guys like you to protect, the freedoms that we enjoy. All right, all right, all right, all right, police officer. Be careful now. Don't hurt him. Hey, careful with the cuffs. He's a war hero. He's just having some trouble with his credit report and political correctness. He's having a bad day. I invite you to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Thanks.